With everything that's happening around us, and you know what I'm talking about, households struggling to keep housing, mortgage payments, car payments, rent, credit card bills, even some forced to either apply or completely lean on SNAP and EBT food stamps for food. And it honestly looks and feels as if nobody even cares. Do you feel the same way? That you're alone in this fight? That while we continue to hear that things are getting better, inflation's going down, even hearing that they won't let us down. Many of us are already down in morale and finances. And so that's why it makes sense as to why depression is taking over the country. And it's not surprising to see historic highs in this as well. In global news, Canada may have already decided to implement a digital currency. But think about this. They're asking the people about it first. Now I should probably put on quotes on them asking the people, since we're not sure if they're going to listen. That's a thought, right? What do you think would happen if we were asked about policies before they were implemented? Like, what if governments around the world actually started listening to the public's opinion? Do you think that we'd be better off? Or do you think that things would be much worse? Are there any policies going on right now that you would change? And we're bound for more change when it comes to our medical supplies as drug shortages become even worse. Just what we needed, right? Another shortage in the most advanced country in the world. We're so advanced that we're facing shortages before anybody else. We live in an absolutely crumbling society right now, guys. Do you agree? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight to the facts. By the way, for the best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below this video. Now, there are many policies that get passed without us having a hint of knowledge of it even passing. And I guess this could possibly be attributed to the number of legislation that the government officials pass. Even though I'm pretty sure that the information is available, it's clear that a huge portion of them don't even hit the mainstream media. I wonder if this is intentional. Now we're talking about something that could very well affect the entire world, and Canada looks to be so confident about it that they even asked their own citizens about it. What's it about? This video on TikTok, and wouldn't you know it, comments were turned off and the downvotes. Well, I have a superpower that shows me this, and look at that. Pow. So I wonder why people don't like it. And just to show you how bad things are, they're lying to our faces. The video states clearly that this Cbdc wouldn't replace cash, but a quick check over at the Atlantic Council website and you'll find this. Quote, as per the BOC's 2020 paper, the primary motivations for issuing a Cbdc would be a sufficiently cashless economy, which could make use of the Canadian dollar in its physical form limited, and the possibility of the Canadian dollar facing competition from an alternative digital currency, end quote. Now, if we were to put this into sports terms, just imagine prime Michael Jordan coming into your team and your coach tells you not to worry about him taking your spot. In a few games, you're already at the end of the bench and people are going to forget that you even play for their team. Now, what's funny is that they're thinking of creating a cashless economy. Now, what part of that term says that cash is going to be around much longer? They're honestly treating us like children, like dumb children at this point. Now, you got to wonder, why aren't more people excited about this? Remember this from February last year? Quote, Trudeau vows to freeze anti-mandate protesters' bank accounts, end quote. That's right, guys. Bank accounts were frozen because they didn't agree with the government's narrative. Now, I wonder how easy it's going to be for them to do the exact same thing to our Cbdc wallets. Hey, you don't agree with the government? Off goes your wallet. Just another normal day of governments trying to push for control, even though they would never say anything about that. Isn't that odd? All of these changes are pushing our mental state to the edge, and we all know that the Fed is working on a Cbdc for us as well. But you know what's sad about that? Many of us might not even have a lot of savings to put into this thing, so the joke's on them. It's a horrific reality that households across the country bear with, and I see it in the comments. Now, I understand your plight and what many people have to deal with. We got people on Social Security applying for SNAP and EBT benefits. I mean, how dire is that situation, right? And the same could be said for the working class Americans who continue to line up at food banks because pretty much everything costs too much. And we're fast running out of savings and we can't necessarily put every single purchase on our credit cards, right? You know what else we're running out of? Yeah, we're running out of medicine. Aaron Fox, Associate Chief Pharmacy Officer at the University of Utah Health, has said that the shortage is affecting everyone. In an interview with Bloomberg, Fox said this, quote, what's different now is that we have a large number of medications in shortage that are affecting both patients in hospitals and also at the pharmacy counter. Even people just trying to buy simple over-the-counter pain relievers like children's Tylenol and children's Advil, all of these have been happening at the same time for a variety of reasons. But altogether, we're at the highest number of shortages that we've been monitoring in about 10 years. My team and I have been doing this work since 2001, and in the past few years, things have gotten a little bit better. But right now, it's just about the worst it's been, end quote. Can you guys believe that this is happening right now? Like, who would have thought that getting our medicine primarily from overseas was a bad idea? Strong sarcasm. Now, with all of that being said, there is something that our country isn't lacking in, and that's depression.
What's the difference between mental health and mental illness? So, mental health is what we all have.
WakeMed psychiatrist Dr. Narissa Price describes mental health as a continuum. It's always there, positive or negative.
It has to be really intentionally looked after, that you don't just wake up having good mental health.
Think of it like a sliding scale. At its best, you're excelling, joyful, energetic, high performing at work or school. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you may be in crisis, extremely anxious, not sleeping, perhaps thoughts of suicide, serious signs of mental illness.
There's a lot of complexity that goes into us developing mental illness that we don't fully understand.
Being aware of the triggers can make a huge difference. Sometimes it's genetics, a family history of mental illness or substance use disorder, or unresolved stress, a death, financial problems, divorce. But 75% of mental illnesses begin before the age of 24. Among the coping strategies Dr. Price promotes, resilience is a key component. It's your ability to recover when adverse things happen. Can resilience be learned? Can resilience be taught?
It absolutely can. Just in the way that you can learn to strengthen your physical body, you can strengthen your mental body.
And it's possible to have good mental health even if I'm suffering from a mental illness.
Absolutely, because in fact, there are treatments that are really successful in helping people with mental illness.
Were you aware that over 1/3 of women in the country, or about 36.7%, are now reporting having been diagnosed with depression at some point in their life? And for men, it's like 20.4%. Since the health crisis, clinical depression has spiked in the United States, and even with the pandemic well behind us, or at least to some extent, it feels as if there's even more to worry about after all. So tell me, what are you worried about right now? Now, it might help to get it off your chest in the comment section. Hit me up down below. Now, I suggest that anyone who is suffering from this seek help. Seriously, it's not a joke to be depressed, and I get that we're not living in normal times, but there is a 4-letter word that I want you guys to have in your head right now. It's hope. I want you guys to understand that you guys are better than your problems, and to be honest, there's plenty of money-making opportunities that you could dabble with. There's side hustles, small businesses, investments in the stock market, real estate, even gold and silver. Multiple streams of income that could ultimately help you to solve your financial problems. Now, if you'd like to learn more about these methods, feel free to drop me some comments down below. If you guys are interested enough, I'll create some videos around these topics. But before I go, please do me a huge one. Drop a like for the video and share this video with everyone you know. Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. I appreciate you guys watching. Also, you should see 2 videos here. Make sure you check out those videos. I appreciate every one of you guys who watches us every day, and I will catch you on the next one. Be safe.